You're still here with us on Breakfast Daily Live on Citi TV. Now, in life, everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs a coach. I mean, you could be physically in tune with this particular mentor or coach, or you can learn from this coach or mentor from afar by studying what they do and, of course, the things they engage in. And so we're going to have a conversation on choosing a mentor or a coach, and to help us, to guide us. In this particular instance, she's actually our coach and our mentor. All right. Hannah Abrahams is a pastor. She is an author. She's a teen and youth educator, and she's joining us this morning as my coach and mentor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Trust you're well.
I'm very well.
Great,
thank you.
great. So, like I espoused earlier, I mean, in life, there are people who have been there, people who have gone ahead of us. So definitely those of us coming afterwards, we need some guidance. So we need a coach or a mentor. But how do I identify? Because people may be doing exemplary stuff in their chosen fields of endeavor, but they may not necessarily be a good mentor or a coach to others. So how do I identify a good coach or mentor?
Thank you for the question. How to identify a good coach or a mentor? First and foremost, it's important for you to know what you want. Many times, many people sadly don't know what they want. It is said generally that 90% of people have no idea of what they want.
Right.
I don't know how true that statistics is, but if you observe from the work I do and the people I interact with, several people really have no idea of what they want. But you'll find out that when you are in structured organizations, in a school, in a workplace, your leader, your teacher may identify that, oh, this young person or this student or this teacher needs improvement. So basically, mentoring and coaching are all geared at growth, development, and performance.
Right.
So if it's an organization, we want to improve performance in our organization. So what are the things that we need to do to improve performance? If it has to do with a student, how will the student's academics or his career be tailored? And then if it is an individual, I want to become better. I feel there's more in me. I have a lot of potential. Each one of us is born with so much potential. But the truth is, are we living up to that potential or maximizing it? So the first thing is there must be a need analysis. What do you need? What do you want? So have a clear goal that I want to achieve A, B, C, D. Maybe I want to develop a skill. I just want advice. I just want to have knowledge based on those who have gone ahead of me. Because a mentor operates differently from a coach. They have overlapping roles, but coaching is usually skill specific. And it's usually tailored to development and industry, and it's usually for performance. But mentoring is usually for advising, generally, guidance, and support. So you find out that both are important, but they operate differently.
Right.
So what do you really need? Do you need a mentor or do you need a coach? It depends on the need you have or the need you have identified. So if you are in an industry and you want to speak well, you realize I need a communication coach or I need somebody to help me become a better top chief executive, performance. That one, you need a coach. And then if it is generally, I really don't know what to do, but I feel there's more in me. I need an advice. I need somebody's story. I need somebody's experiences and his worldview. Then you just need a mentor. So identifying a mentor and a coach should be based on your need analysis and then based on the goals you want. Okay?
Right.
I can go on. Once you now identify whether it's a mentor or a coach you want, the next thing is expertise. Who is an expert in the field you want to improve? So if I want to work on communication in Ghana, the name that comes up to mind is Jibodi, because she's been doing communication and skill development. Then if I want to do sports or wellness, then I'm going to look, do I want a Ghanaian coach? Do I want an international coach? The person who comes to mind when I talk of sports is Serena Williams. She does a lot of coaching, and she has used different coaches. But there's one that stands out, Patrick, is it Mongolat? The surname is French. It doesn't click a little. But she has a coach that helps her win all those grand slams. So you find out that most of the people who are doing so well have coaches who push them
Right.
to stand out.
Right.
So expertise, then credibility.
Okay.
What is the person's credibility in his or her sphere or space? How credible, what do people say about that person? Then feedback, what are the feedbacks people are giving? Then you now have to look at the approach and then your specific learning needs. Everybody learns differently.
Yeah.
So if your learning needs do not match up with that coach, no matter how good he or she is, you wouldn't do well.
Right.
So your learning needs are key in choosing or identifying the right coach or the right mentor. And then your learning style and even your personality.
Right.
Some people are very interesting, others are not, others are harsh. Now remember, coaches are usually short-term skill development.
Okay.
Your coach may not necessarily be your friend. So people should put that in mind. Sometimes you feel, oh, I've paid the coach. And then when you are also choosing coaches and mentors, it's very important to factor costs.
Okay.
These things are skill transfers and they come at a cost. Sadly, especially in our part of the world, people are not willing to pay for these services and assume I can learn indirectly. So that brings us to direct and indirect mentoring and coaching. Indirect coaching or indirect mentoring, usually you are learning from somebody from afar. So you're observing the person, you are reading his or her books, you are watching them. So there's really no one-on-one or direct interaction. The challenge with that one is nobody holds you accountable. And in coaching, accountability and feedback is key.
Right.
Because it's usually short-term, there are targets, you want to acquire a particular skill, and so we should be able to say, within 3 months, you gained A, B, C, D.
Right.
But in mentoring, usually the time is fluid, so for as long as you can learn. Now, if you are doing indirect learning, you must be self-initiated.
Okay.
So that means you are watching from afar, but you can apply the principles without anybody holding you accountable.
Right.
So if you are the type who doesn't do well with self-initiated projects, you wouldn't do well with indirect learning.
Okay.
And in indirect learning, you wouldn't get a full picture of who the mentor is and all his experiences. It is what he has opted to share or show behind the camera scene.
It's what you see.
It's what you see.
Yeah.
But direct mentoring gives you the ground level of the person. When he's angry, how he behaves. When he's frustrated, how he behaves. How he reacts to failure. How he reacts to loss. How he reacts to wealth. You know, I always say there's no humble poor man. Wait till they get money. Then you'll be surprised that this man who acted so humbly
Yeah.
suddenly is so proud.
Yeah.
And even we ourselves, sometimes we haven't experienced so much of wealth, of power. Power is another thing that really corrupts.
Yeah.
When you get power, you get fame, then you get to know that, oh, I didn't even know myself.
Right.
So everybody has potential, but your ability to find the right mentor or coach to help this potential come out, be maximized in a particular sphere is why we need coaches and mentors.
All right, so how important is alignment to values and goals between mentors and mentees?
Very important. Very important, because if your values don't align with the values of the coach, you would find out that they would ask you to do things that do not
Right.
go well with you. And once there is no, what do you call it, good relationship, or you don't believe in that value system of the coach on mentee, you wouldn't do well. Because in coaching, relationship is key, because you're going to tread on thorny areas and they're going to challenge you to do things. You open up, sometimes vulnerable, in areas that are limitations you may have closed up, and they're going to challenge your limitations for transformation. And so if their value systems are such that it conflicts with your value systems, there is no way you are going to bring the best out, even though they may be world-class coaches.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets challenging detaching from such a mentor as you have described. Sometimes you may admire someone and find yourself attached to the person. Informally, the person becomes a mentor.
Yeah.
But as you keep getting close, you recognize that, okay, these values or these goals that this person has does not really sit well with me. How dangerous is it still tagging along, and how difficult is it detaching from such a person?
it's very dangerous to tag along when you realize that your values conflict, because so long as you remain in the comfort or sphere of that mentor, you will be forced to do things that you don't want, especially if it's somebody you respect higher up in hierarchy. You would not be at peace, and the best of you will not come out. So it's very important to know that you don't have a spare life.
Okay.
It is your life, and you need to improve. So detach wisely, because you also don't throw stones at a glass wall. You will need that relationship another time. But with wisdom, begin to step back or begin to separate or sit down, because sometimes mentees outgrow the coaching relationship.
Okay.
They expire. Coaches expire because you would have developed and reached their level, or sometimes you outgrow your mentors or your coaches, and you keep tagging along. They will pull you down instead of building you up. So you find out that people who want to grow, high performing people, keep changing mentors or coaches depending on the need per time. So there should be a constant evaluation of your life, your goals, your achievements, and what you want to
And also,
achieve.
how important is it for a coach or a mentor to have a strong track record when it comes to success and experiences?
Very important, because your track record is what people use to recommend you. And that is the confidence with which a mentee will submit himself to the coach, knowing that he has worked with A, B, C, D, and they've all done well. So I can risk and give my life to him, and I'm sure that I will also do well. If there's no good track record, we can have people that we use as trial and error. Everybody starts somewhere, because there are people who nobody knows, but they are good coaches. But in, what do you call it, high-performing environments, maybe executive coaching, life coaching, and depending on where you want to achieve, track record is very important. So somebody whose track record has been consistent over the years, and you can point to people he or she has built or raised up, it's key in identifying.
Can everybody
choosing.
be a mentor?
No, everybody cannot be a
Yeah,
mentor.
because like I see people texting me or DMing me, even telling me, "Oh, I want to be a mentor." I'm like,
It's not everyone that's capable to be a mentor.
No.
Can you like I can't like will I be mean to say no?
You are not mean to say no. Not everybody can be a mentor. For us, maybe as females, because we have been wired biologically to be mothers or parents, males and females, we are parents. Parenting is part of mentoring and coaching.
Okay.
But you will find out that these require skill and expertise and transfer of knowledge. So you find out they are poor parents. They are parents who don't mentor their children well because they don't have the skills. They don't have the
do so.
expertise to develop the potential in the child. So not everybody can be a mentor. Everybody may have the potential to be a mentor, but they also need to learn, develop, and acquire the skills and the capacities that make you a mentor in a particular field.
Yeah.
Because there are various fields. So you see, you could be a mentor in communication, but not in leadership. You could be a mentor in wellness. You could be a mentor in what do you call it, general academic or career life.
Right.
But you may not be an one-size-fits-all. So you can't take anybody and say, I want you to mentor me for life. No. There must be a specific area that you need, maybe finance. So I have a track record that you know how to make money, you have made money, you have lost money, you have made money. You know everything about money. Somebody has to do with fashion or the artistic and creative skills. You can find out this person just knows how to. I take you to somebody like Picasso. I take you to somebody who is a musician. These are creative skills. A life coach may not be able to teach you creative skills. He may give you some of the simple principles of challenge you, bring out the best in you, ask you the tough questions that he needs to ask. But he may not be able to mentor you all round.
Great stuff, great stuff. Great. How do people find you, for people who want to know more about mentoring and coaching?
My name is Hannah Abraham Sapia. You find me on all the social media handles, Facebook, Twitter. And then if you go, I have a website, teasbooksandmore.com. You can send me a message. You can check out what I do and help, especially young ones. I am passionate with young adults, teenagers, helping them develop their potential.
Young ones like me.
Yeah, like
You know?
us, right?
Well, thank you so much,
so
Hannah
much.
Abraham
Yes,
Sapia,
please, thank
Pastor Arthur, and teen and youth educator. Thank you so very much.
Welcome.
All right, people, it's time now to check out the entertainment highlights.